Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Kentuckians are now able to exercise their civic duty with no excuse in-person early voting that began today across the Commonwealth. WYMT's Madison Carmouche caught up with early voters in Laurel County.
Lola Daughtery is a Laurel County early voter who says there is too much on the line to sit on the sidelines this election.
If you believe a certain way, you need to vote that way to make your voice heard, whether it be on the issue of abortion, the economy, the border, or even just the division in the country. You know, you need to vote so that your voice counts.
Presidential candidates made big strides to get Gen Z voters out to vote this election year, and first-time voter Justin Sparkman says it is encouraging seeing his political science degree play out.
Obviously it's exciting, you know, first time fully participating in especially the democratic process, presidential election, mainly due to age.
While Sparkman is new to the booth, Jeannie Cochran says voting in the election is something she never takes lightly.
I've never missed an election. It's very important for people to speak their mind. If you don't speak your mind, you have no argument at the end. So I think it's very important that people vote.
Laurel County Clerk Tony Brown says he is impressed with the turnout, especially in the first few hours.
It's going through rather quickly. We're voting over 200 people an hour right now, and the line is still going, which is a great thing because you want to see people vote.
Kentuckians can early vote until November 2nd. Locations and times vary per county. In Laurel County, Madison Carmouche, WYMT Mountain News.
There was one issue reported today in Laurel County, and we have more about that on WYMT.com. We told you about it at 4. Now, to see a sample ballot before you head to the polls, you can visit sos.ky.gov and click on your county in the elections section for that information. Let's take a look at some other locations throughout eastern Kentucky where you can vote early. In-person, no excuse absentee voting runs through Saturday, so you can go to these places tomorrow and Saturday. Just 3 examples here from some of our counties. In Leslie County, you can visit the courthouse annex in Hyden anytime between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. In Johnson County, you can go to the courthouse lobby in Paintsville between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. And in Wolfe County, you can go to the courthouse in Campton between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. Obviously, times vary depending on what county you're in, so you'll want to check ahead with your local county for the latest information. Attorney General Russell Coleman says he is protecting the integrity of elections in Kentucky with the no excuse early voting underway. Attorney General Coleman has asked Kentuckians to report any suspected election law violations they may notice. The election fraud hotline is there on your screen, 800-328-VOTE. Here's a look at a few more races that we'll be keeping our eyes on Tuesday night as the results come in the battle for the Commonwealth's attorney spot in the 33rd Judicial Circuit, which serves Perry County. Republican and former Commonwealth's attorney John Hanson is taking on Democrat and assistant Commonwealth's attorney Jonathan Wilder. Of course, that seat was vacated by Scott Blair. Jackie Steele was appointed as special prosecutor earlier this year following Blair's resignation. Here's another race involving candidates for Commonwealth's attorney, this one for the 44th Judicial Circuit. Mike Taylor is taking on Jesse Jean Moberg. The 44th Judicial Circuit serves Bell County. And in the battle for Commonwealth's attorney in the 41st Judicial Circuit, Republican Haley Jo Fields is squaring off against Democrat Jake Roberts. This circuit serves Jackson, Clay, and Leslie counties. Fields defeated longtime incumbent Gary Gregory in the May primary.
And a look at our current temperatures today, you can really see how warm we've been and how cool we're going to get. Take a look at that upper left-hand portion of your screen. As you can see, Louisville and Lexington is a little bit cooler in the 60s already, and that's because the front is already moving in. You can see it on satellite and radar bringing the rain to our area, and we're just now seeing it start to enter the border of Pulaski County, starting to see the effects of it. And as we continue through the next couple hours, it'll continue to move more to the southeast and and we'll see that rain into your Friday. But the low temperatures after this front moves through, we're really looking in the 50s, a little bit cooler as you're traveling to Irvin, 53, a little bit warmer as you're heading to Harlan, 60 degrees. And as you're going through the next couple of hours, we'll continue to see the rain start to come in. Depending on what part of the region you're at is going to affect the timing of that, but everybody will see rain at some point in the next couple of hours. Steve?
All right, thank you very much. One person is dead after a crash in Rockcastle County. That happened yesterday on Interstate 75. Police say they were called out to the 71-mile marker in the northbound lanes. Police say 77-year-old Sally Brosell of Madison County was heading north when she lost control and hit a semi-truck. Brosell died from injuries she sustained in the crash. The driver of the semi was not hurt. 2 people are facing charges after police in Laurel County found a large quantity of fentanyl during a raid. London PD's Special Investigation Unit seized the fentanyl as well as other contraband after they served a search warrant at a home. Brian and Jonathan Hubbard, both of London, were arrested. They were taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. Rangers with the Kentucky Department of Forestry put out the first big forest fire of the season in Harlan County in the Brookside community. Crews started working the fire yesterday, and today they extinguished what was left of it. WYMT's Austin Hicks reports on the cause of the fire and what you can do to keep yourself and property safe during the fall fire season.
Fire season began on October 1st and will end on December 15th, which means the highest chance for a forest fire will be during that time period. And on Wednesday, Harlan County saw its first major fire of the season, as the Brookside community in Harlan County saw a forest fire that at its peak covered 10 acres. With fall in full swing, the risk of a fire increases, and as firefighter for the West Clover Fork Fire Department, Bradley Guthrie said we could be seeing more in the future.
It's actually starting the season of it, where fall's hitting, all the leaves are falling. People's getting a little bit more careless with burning things around their house and stuff like that, and the embers fly off and it starts fires.
While many fires start because of falling leaves and a lack of rain, officials said there was evidence of the fire in Brookside being started intentionally. William Duncan, who is a ranger for the Kentucky Department of Forestry, said this occurrence is not uncommon.
Some instances we're able to utilize local knowledge and sometimes piece together who started a fire like this, but arson, it's about 50-50. You've got arson, debris burning, lightning strikes down electrical poles. There are a lot of causes for forest fires.
Duncan said in order to keep yourself, your family, and property safe during fire season, it is important for folks to follow the rules for fire season.
Ends October 1st, ends December 15th. If everyone will just remember that there is no burning between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. You cannot be within 150 feet of the wood line or a structure unless there's snow on the ground. But just general things, keeping the leaf litter up out of their yard, anything that connects, that bridges that gap between the home and the wood line.
Duncan said folks can also make a gap between the wood line and their home so that if a fire does get near the house, there will be no fuel for it to continue to burn. In Harlan County, Austin Hicks, WYMT Mountain News.
Officials with the Kentucky Division of Forestry say if anyone has any information regarding that fire or anyone involved with starting it, they should call them. Officials with the Transportation Cabinet have announced a portion of Interstate 75 will be closed next week. The right lane will be closed at mile point 14.0 in Whitley County on Wednesday, November 6th. That part of the interstate will be closed from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. during bridge deck repair operations. Drivers need to be aware of signage and road crews at work. More than $10 million in state funding for projects in eastern Kentucky. The Floyd County Fiscal Court is getting funding for the purpose of developing property for the Thunder Ridge Industrial Business Park. $2 million was approved in state funding for that project. And the Coalfields Regional Industrial Authority Incorporated is receiving more than $4 million in funding to construct a secondary water treatment plant and transmission line at the Coalfields Regional Industrial Park here in Perry County. Earlier at 4 o'clock, we told you that flags at state office buildings will be lowered to half staff on Saturday for Senator Johnny Turner. here are his funeral arrangements. Visitation is tomorrow from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. at the Harlan County High School Auditorium. A funeral mass is set for Saturday at 11 a.m. at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church in Harlan. His burial will follow at Rest Haven in the Keith community.